Hey, via satellite this week.
I know.
Satellite banana.
Yeah, tough to get down there. For me, I got a little show to do tonight, and yeah, tough, man. Sorry.
No worries, but I'm glad we got to at least do a little connect. You're out in the vineyard, it appears.
I'm in the vineyard.
Excellent. How's the shows going? You did the audition this past Sunday.
Yeah, I finally got to the Comedy Chateau, as it were, and you've played there, I've seen, right?
I have to the Comedy Chateau.
Thank you so much, everybody, for coming out tonight. My name is Jason Delgado. Follow me on the gram.
I don't know. I think it's kind of fun. It's cool. I like the vibe there if there's a good crowd. But what was your experience? I would like to know. You met Felix?
I did not meet Felix. No.
Oh.
No, I didn't. No, and I don't remember the gentleman's name that hosted either. It's an old venue. I'd be curious to know how long it's been there. I don't think it's been there for long, right? But I'd be curious. Was it a restaurant before? It must have been.
Do not know.
Okay.
But it does have a couple cool, unique things in that there's free parking at the bank right next door, which I love. Yeah. That makes it top tier.
I was just thinking about that, talking about that yesterday when I was recording myself, sort of doing like a little vlog or whatever of my experience.
Down at the Comedy Chateau, 2 small rooms there. They love to talk about Chappelle and Kevin Hart coming in a lot of times, so that's cool. Old place, old building, old room. I'm kind of curious to see what it would be like before. Interesting crowd, interesting people, fascinating. I got booked on a show next Sunday night, and it was, I think that's good.
And I was thinking in the Midwest, in Chicago, like no one was never a thought. You were like, of course there's parking.
Yeah.
What are you?
Yeah.
There's never an issue. There's probably 500 places to park. No one talked about it.
Yeah. So many places, even in places up like in the Valley area where it's like, oh my God, there's parking here. Even if it's a lot, I'm like, there's parking. Like Burbank.
Oh, yeah.
Blessings to Burbank.
Yeah.
You could just park and live and walk about the thing. It is just Burbank, but I mean, blessings to Burbank. I do think it's coming up and it's getting a little more flair. Plus Flappers is there. But yeah, parking is a big bonus.
Yeah, for sure.
Good luck at the Comedy Store, bro. Yeah.
Yeah, so I went down there. It's an old venue. There was auditions. I think they don't have open mics anymore. So it was like, give us 3 minutes. The guy, I don't know what his name was, but the guy running the sound was, I'm not sure what the scene was, but he kept leaving the light on during the entire set.
He's like, start wrapping it up already.
He would like shut it off at the end, and people would be like, was that the light? Or was I, because you don't usually stare at the light. But then also he would like, I don't know what the deal was with the sound, but he would like play people off in the middle of their set inadvertently. Oh. And they were like, am I being played off? I've only been on for 30 seconds. And but there were a lot of comics there. There were like, 2 of them was like, it's the first time they'd ever went up. And, so they were like, is that what this, should I leave? And I was like, stay up there. It's fine.
I'm embarrassed for them.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if it wouldn't be so much fun to win, I love watching a room fall apart. It's a blast. So it didn't make me nervous at all. I had a blast. But it's funny. And then afterwards, they booked a couple of us on a show. I think that's their running gig. And then they try and get you to come in and have beers. And I'm like, I don't know anybody.
Yeah.
I'm the worst.
Mm-hmm.
So I got booked there. I got booked at a place up near me called the Canyon Club.
I know. I've heard of the Canyon Club. Good logo.
Yeah, I think that they got their claim to fame in like the 60s for having like the Doors and the Beach Boys and weird shit. And so I don't know how they're going to do it with comedy. But I was outside of there the other night and eating dinner with the fam. And Axel Rose fucking sat down beside us.
What?
Right outside the Canyon Club. Yeah, and he's from the town I'm from. So that was like a big deal. I was actually a little more starstruck than I ever am seeing celebs. I was like, oh shit, that's Bill Bailey. That's his real name. And It's so
Go with
fun to
Axel
up to
for
it.
sure.
Yeah. I followed him I totally celebbed out, and I was like, when he goes to the restroom, I'll follow him into the restaurant. Maybe I'll get a moment. Not like while we're peeing or something, but like outside. So he goes in, and I follow him in, and he was not going to the restroom. He was with some older ladies, and they were looking at like dried meats and that he wanted to eat, lamb or choose his steak or something. He has the hottest fucking voice.
What?
Yeah, he's like, lamb? That sounds nice. And you're like, that's Axel Rose? Is that what I was stunned. So fun.
That is really funny.
Yeah.
I could imagine that. I'm trying to imagine like the song. Yeah. They're all kind of like high.
You know where you are?
You're in the jungle, baby. This is actually my voice.
Yeah. That's the one it was. And I was like, I guess I feel stupid because I thought he had a different voice.
Oh, you're not doing that. That's no. I talk like this all the time. That's very funny. That's a great bit. Yeah. I was telling you one point where how Daniel Day-Lewis, famous actor Banana, super method, and got chosen by Spielberg to do Abraham Lincoln. And he did his own research and went to like the Library of Congress and found the one recording of Abraham Lincoln. And he's just like, I think that everybody should just chill, like black people are cool and like we're cool too. So and he's like, this is the voice. I'm going, Stephen, this is the voice I'm going. Yeah. He must have been like, bro, no. He did a good job, but like, and the thing is like, I am the president of the United States. It's like, golly, these fucking actors.
Somebody needs to do that with Jesus, because also no recordings.
Hey.
So what kind of accent?
He talks like Mickey Mouse. They knew Mickey Mouse?
Yeah.
But yeah, it was one of these weird things where when you have this towering figure, historic legend. I mean, in just rock and roll terms, like Axl Rose is king. Like, who's the guy? Slash?
Yeah.
Slash is exactly who you think Slash is. Like, he's actually telling you who he is with his gear. He's got a deep voice. He just smokes cigarettes and plays. And that's his energy. But with Axl Rose, I would think he'd be like, like Kurt Cobain.
Yeah.
But he's just like, I want to choose my lamb.
Yeah. Just like, let me choose my lamb.
Well, blessings. God bless. Let people be who they want to be. But yeah, it kind of let me down. People weren't flat.
I don't know. I was pretty shocked, and then we couldn't get any kind of like, I don't usually like take pictures or whatever, but like I was really struck by him. I think just because he grew up in my hometown.
Dude, an historic legend of rock and roll, dude.
And he's the only guy to come out of our town really ever. So I always thought like, oh, I want to do comedy because like the only guy that's ever come out of Lafayette has been fucking Axl Rose. Maybe I could be the other guy, and that guy's a dick, and people thought he was weird, and maybe I could be cool. So there was all that thought when I was young.
Totally.
And I think he went to 3 or 4 different, all high schools in Lafayette claimed him. And when you would open up your math book at the beginning of the semester, it would always say Axl Rose. And
nailed it.
People always thought it was hilarious to say, oh yeah, that was his book.
Did you get a picture?
I did. I shamefully pretended I was on the phone, put it in slow motion so that it would film in 4K. Did like what I'm talking to my kids, a turn, and then later like screenshotted the shit out of him. Yeah,
got it. We'll put it on. Well, way to go, man! I think that's a cool item. What was the name of the steakhouse?
It wasn't a steakhouse. It was an Italian place called Pasta, like pasta.
Basta.
Exceptionally good. And my wife was...
I know, now I want to go. Scope out the joint, hang at the bar.
Yeah, I don't know where he lives. I see a lot of celebs in my area, but I think they must live close by or they live in Malibu. Like Malibu right now is sort of challenged with restaurants, so a lot of them are coming here.
Got it.
So, whatever.
Dude, I want Italian. I want a nice Italian pasta.
Yeah. The guy I'm looking for here in town is Brad Garrett. I've seen him a few times, and I know he has a club in Vegas.
Oh, nice.
And a guy that I know from Indiana plays there a lot, and I want to get booked there. I'd like to.
Hell yeah!
Go to
a lot of people doing clubs in Vegas.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of like celebrity, like Kenan Thompson, I want to say,
Yeah.
kind of call that. Yeah, Vegas is, I mean, it's not that it's always not been the hot spot, but I think it does have that energy because it's very touristy. And you can go from LA to Vegas in like 3 hours if you're lucky, and then pop up.
Yeah. 4 or 5 hours. I think.
4 or 5 hours probably.
Remember Swingers?
Now if you
When
take
they're
the
like,
PJ,
3 hours, bro.
now if you take the PJ,
Yeah, for sure. So, what's going on with you in the book?
no, nothing. Just reading it right now. I'm doing the voiceover. Like I said, my mom doesn't read, so she's going to listen to my voice. There are several chapters. I've been just putting out like a chapter a week, kind of like a podcast. TheoryNovel.com for those who want to know.
Yeah.
But no, it's one of these things where it's like, I don't know, like I think so much of it is just wrapped in creativity. So now that that's kind of in a little bit of an autopilot because I'm just doing the whatever audio, I am, doing more like writing of jokes and stuff, but I'm really kind of going towards the movie stuff. Like I said, I kind of want to produce like a TV show or a movie. AI is crazy. And so I kind of want to utilize that or whatever. Dude, did you hear that they made a direwolf? Did you hear about this?
No.
So, like,
Really?
I don't even know what a direwolf was. I thought that they just made that up for Game of Thrones.
Right.
But I think just because we mentioned AI, I'm just like, dude, the world is just moving too fast. So, like, there was this thing called a direwolf, which is, I guess, like just a giant wolf.
Okay.
And it's been extinct
Okay.
for like 10,000 years.
Yeah.
I'm not exaggerating. I think it actually has been 10,000 years.
Uh-huh.
And they did some chemical zhuzh, some whammy,
Uh-huh.
and made a direwolf. 2 of them.
Okay.
And now they are like Jurassic Park. Living, breathing direwolves.
Where? Where? Are they?
Like in the Museum of Magoo Magoo. I don't know.
Uh,
But it's like they're on the cover of Time magazine, or one of them on the cover of Time, or like they did a depiction of what it will look like.
That's
on the
what
cover.
that was. I saw.
And it says like extinct, and then they blot it out. But they have pictures of them. There's these 2 little wolves. They're like cute little dogs. These things are going to grow up to be the size of like Dodge Rams, right? But like,
Holy shit.
like that's the kind of shit we're on right now. And so like, I feel like we're kind of in this interesting space where things are moving so fast and sort of so loose that I kind of want to try and just, take advantage of those things. Like try to use the AI and use some of these tools that are kind of crazy to make cool stuff. Because like if we're making extinct animals, it's not even summer, dude. I mean, like by the
Right.
time summer comes, everything could be virtual. There could be aliens. Like we don't know what's going on. So
That's true.
I'm trying to take advantage as much as possible. But I do want to get out. When I hear you do like comedy and stuff like that, I'll write down a joke and I'll keep it. Like I went to this outdoor rave, as I do.
Yeah. Like you do.
Yeah, like I do. So my buddy had a birthday party in Dodger Stadium's sort of surrounding park. And there was like a DJ and they had like a mini rave. I guess they do this once every Sunday or whatever. So we're at this rave and I saw Kat Alvarado there, famous comedian.
Okay.
I'm doing a name drop. So Kat Alvarado was there. She's hanging out with like these artists or their own clothing line or whatever. And I was just like, yeah, man, like Kat Alvarado is out with like other artists, not just hanging out at the Comedy Store, not just like doing these things, but like out in the world with artists and doing things.
Yeah.
And I was like, I admired. Then she saw me and she's like, hey, what's up? And I was like, hey, we talked. But just that idea where I want to try and do, like, now that I did the book, I want to try and do like another art.
Yeah.
Something that's a little bit, like with this AI shit, you could just be like, make the Coliseum and boom, and then you just put in after, you know what I mean? It's very easy.
Yeah.
So I want to try and do something, whatever, with that. But when I hear you going out, I get jealous.
I'd be curious to know if the only thing that will slow that potentially, if that's digital and will the tariffs, and a lot of it's Chinese,
Mm-hmm.
or at the very least Asian countries that are creating this stuff. And I kind of wonder if that will be slowed at all. Or for, I feel like we're already behind Japan.
Yeah. Tier wise. We're behind Korea. We're behind a lot of those.
Right.
But everyone wants to come here. That's what I think is so funny. Like, most of them would do anything to get here.
Right.
And I don't know if it's like we're playing hard to get, but like the game is wonderful. Because we'll be like, no, we don't want your super intelligence and genius ideas. And they'll be like, we'll take a boat. We'll sneak in the harbor. No, don't. Like, maybe we're just like playing hard to get, but then really wanting them. I don't know. Because I'm thinking like, dude, if we're America and there are people with trillions of dollars in Dubai and they're like, let's go to Miami. Like,
Right.
America's got cachet, but bring some of these people in, have them make robots. You know what I mean? My buddy showed me a video of robots making drinks at the bar. And it was Asian. I don't know if it was what country it was, but some Asian country. And it was just like these guys at a party like, yeah. And the robots were just like, your martini's up. And I was just like,
perfect.
Bro, come on, man. Like, are we really going to lock these people down?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, let's bring everybody with the robots in-house.
Well, I want they're going to put these robots in your house or whatever, and I'm all about it. And my wife and I have already talked about, like, am I going to get to fuck that robot? And
I think that it couldn't happen fast enough. The second that there is robots, there'll be robot fucking.
oh, it has to be. It's Rule 34, whatever, isn't that? If it's on the internet, there's porn of it.
That's good.
I was stupidly on. My father he went to Japan, oddly, and he left his Apple glasses the other day. And so I put them on,
Oh, the Vision! You got the
all
Vision?
his stuff, yeah. And I used to have I'm not a gamer at all, but my wife at one time bought me, whatever the other one is. I forget what it is. It's not the Apple one, but it's
Oculus?
Oculus. And I had it for like 3 months, and I was like, this is boring, and I don't know, other than porn, like, what are you doing? And at some point, even if you're like healthy, you're like a month into porn, and you're like, I get it. It's fine. Yeah. I was just, looking around rooms. I was like, where is
Zooming in.
Yeah. But so I put this one on. Pretty cool. I don't know. It didn't. They definitely locked down a bunch of stuff on it. I don't know that it'll go anywhere. I don't know if we're that kind of people yet.
Yeah. I mean, I don't like the whole goggle thing. I do know that they're making the glasses now that have, like, it's just glasses and then there's a little camera here, but it'll display in the frame of the glass, which I think is wonderful.
Yeah.
Because it's like you could just go like, how much is that? And wonderful stuff. I just don't know if I'll use it that much just because, like, I'm noticing, like, things for me at this, I hate to say it, age, but it's like, it's just gotta be, like, pick up and go. If I can't pick up and go and grab it, like, somebody gave me a bag recently, and the bag, to close the bag, you have to, like, strap it like a belt.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, dude, this bag lives and dies in the back of my closet. I don't have time to be fucking knitting shit. Like, you put your laptop there, you gotta knit a coat, and then you gotta, you know what I mean? I want to pick up and go, right?
Yeah.
And so, like, I noticed that things that are like that, like, I got a phone charger or a phone holder in my car. Yeah. And every phone holder, you got to get a case that has like a magnet, and the magnet sticks to the thing, and it's got a ball, and you adjust it. And I found the perfect one. It's just like a giant mouth, and you put it in, and close it, just go, bah! And it closes. I'm like, you are like the epitome of everything I want in life. I just want to be able to go, what? And it works, and I go. Right. And so I think things like that, anytime that gets a little complicated, so it's just like, like, we should watch a movie and just like hang out, just like, oh God, like, I'm already exhausted. Yeah. I don't want to like go and do anything. I just want to like pick up. I want it to just happen.
I'll even do it to the point of somebody stealing my information or whatever. Just make it
easy.
The coolest thing Apple did was like that. Look at my face. Fucking, I don't want to do anything. Look at my fucking face.
Mm-hmm, exactly.
Great.
I don't even want to do this. Just,
Yeah, no, I don't want to do any of this. I've become so lame about it.
Yeah, and that's why I feel like the technology with like, that stuff, but it's just like these AR glasses, like where I'm going to use the glasses to like video. Like the idea of it sounds great. But, like, I don't know if I'll use it that often. It's funny because like I say that about FaceTime. But I use FaceTime now all the time.
Yeah.
But like FaceTime for me is a late bloomer. Maybe post-pandemic.
Okay, really?
Maybe it's a pandemic kind of made it a thing, and so now it's a thing. Because I remember when FaceTime came out, I was like, "Yo, this is fucking awesome! Like I could we could look at each other. I'm never doing that. I'm texting you. I'm like, yo, sup?
Yeah.
I don't want to even call you, let alone look at you. But now, dude, I use FaceTime all the time just because I'm like, it's supposed to look like this, or like talking to my family who are in New York, or like even, you know, ideas like this where we're just doing creative stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
I wound up using FaceTime more, and I was like, yeah, it's interesting. I use it a lot now, but I didn't use it when it first came out. I think it's maybe like a post-Demi thing.
That's funny. I always used it because I was like, I always feel like when I go, I don't get strangers, but I feel like I want to know tone. I want you to look at like, what am I dressed like? Where am I? Because it tells the whole story here.
Yeah.
Like
soon you could be AI though.
Yeah, that's true.
You could be Marilyn Monroe. I can't wait.
Now, would you sell your commercial likeness for AI? I was a commercial actor forever and ever. And the question has now become, if I didn't have to leave my house, would I sell my likeness for that? And for commercials, as long as I got the say-so on what they were doing, which I don't think you would, I might do it. But I wouldn't do it for film and TV, obviously.
Yeah, that seems like such a layup, because that's like universal basic income right there.
Yeah, you just get,
you know what I mean?
face.
Like you
That's
you just get a check every now and then. They should set something up like that where you can like sell your likeness, and then they could just put it out there. You know what I mean?
Well,
you may wind up in the Avengers.
Yeah. I worked inside of an agency. I was in business development for a talent agency in the Midwest for a couple of years. And as AI was coming in, and I was like, that's the thing that will bury you guys if you're not watching it. So you either need to be on top of figuring out how to take people, then move the AI to that, and then do this other thing, or they're gonna replace you. Now, once AI can make whatever version, and I don't think they're there yet. Like I'm looking at these,
but there are people who are like, I can tell if AI. Like there are people who are like,
right?
That's AI, and I'm like, really? How do you know? Like,
yeah.
You know, and I don't understand like how there's a perception. Or there's like actual websites that you could put a picture there and it'll scan and it'll go, this is AI, this is not AI. But I think at this point, it's like I saw a meme that had somebody taking a photograph and a painter next to him going, ugh, that's cheating. Okay. Or going, ugh, that's not art, that's cheating.
Right, right.
And I was like, that's kind of the same bit. You know what I mean? Like, we're just kind of using the tools we have to make a thing. Why hate?
Yeah, AI doesn't bother me a whole lot when it comes to like stirring up ideas, because I've said before, like if I'm really lost, I'll go to the library and pick up books. How is that? No, that's just manual
AI.
That's just I. It's not AI, it's just I. Fucking me.
Thank you so much for listening to the Getting Up podcast. Please like and subscribe. We'll see you on the next one.